Hello everyone, my name is Adam LeBlanc and I'm a data scientist for the Data Labs Ichi. So for those of you who don't know, Ichi is how you say one in Japanese, so the name really stands for Data Labs 1. Clever? I know. So what is the purpose of me making this slide? Well, this is the introductory slide or slideshow for a series that I feel really needs to be done. So over the time that I've been in data science and I've been watching data science videos, I've been seeing that there are several things that have been covered too much. Linear regression, logistical regression, decision trees, machine learning, this, that, and the other. What tends to be ignored are some extremely important topics that are also key to being a good data scientist. So this brief is just the introductory brief, and it's going to provide an overview of all those future videos that I plan on making. So in this one, we're going to review the future content, set a baseline for all the future videos that I am going to be doing, testing my equipment, which is kind of important, right? And it's also just for pure enjoyment. I mean, I enjoy teaching, I enjoy learning, so hopefully I can create videos that you all enjoy. So for the topics, we're going to cover a series. We're going to first start with bias. This is one of the most important topics in science, really. But when you talk about data science, there's bias in your data, there's bias in collecting data, there's bias in analyzing the data, there's bias all over the place. So I think bias is an extremely important topic to discuss, not only because it's ubiquitous throughout research and technology, but it is extremely overlooked whenever you watch videos on machine learning and statistics and so on and so forth. Everyone seems to miss this topic, and bias can make or break your analysis, can make or break your hypothesis. It's just so important that I feel like it needs to be done in depth, so I will be creating a video just on bias. So look forward to that in the future. The next topic is going to be how to get the value added into your content, into your brief, into your products. So this is also important, and this I believe is also a missed mark within just the STEM fields in general. Yes, they teach you how to make information, they teach you how to make products, they teach you how to make it all. However, they do not teach how to get the value from those products. So how to add value to your products is very important, because no one's going to care that you made the best product ever, because if there's no value in it for them, they're just going to yawn, roll their eyes, and say, okay, next. Because you didn't identify who your audience was, identify what they care about, and spearhead that into your brief. Therefore, they get the value necessary out of your product. Next, it kind of wraps into the value added, but it gets its own brief entirely, its own product entirely, because what's in it for me? I have WIFM as the acronym we use for it in parentheses. What is in it for me? The me being whoever you're making the product for. So this is important when you're briefing or giving the product to someone who has very, very little time. And you need to identify, okay, what does this person need to know, and how can I tell it to this person in the shortest amount of time? And once you're able to do that quickly and efficiently, that person or people will want you to brief them repeatedly, because you're able to identify what they need to hear, so they can go on and do more important things with the information that you are able to get them. Okay, so the next topic, it's all about how to build these products. I think that the three ahead of this one are a little bit more important, because you can learn how to build these products from anywhere, right? You can watch a video on it on YouTube. You can watch my video that I've made on it once I make it. You can find places to build products and to build business intelligence. spreadsheets, stuff like that. It's all over the internet. But those other three we're going to cover, and then they'll build into, using the word build again, the how to build products. And we'll go over what steps you can take to make products easy to read, easy to follow. Hopefully, my product I'm making now is that, right? If not, hit me up in the comments below and tell me how I can do better, right? Because I'm all about learning, as I've said prior. So that'll be a whole video on its own, and hopefully you enjoy that one. Oh boy. Exploiting data. This is going to probably be the hardest one for me to make. But I think it's important because in all the videos that I've seen and in all of the how-to guides that exist right now, there is a real lack of just explaining how to get the data and then how to exploit the said data. Sure, we can all go and use test data that's been used a million times. I'm looking at you, CARS data. Yes, you can get data and you can exploit that data, but what you don't get taught is how to get actual data that you're going to need, which is not pretty, which is not built nice and in columns and rows that you can exploit right away. Now, I do understand not everyone is a data engineer. I do have a bit of background in data engineering for my master's. We're not going to go into the nitty-gritty details of that. What we're going to do is we're going to get basic data that any analyst can pull to put into a product that you can then build, analyze, and brief to a decision maker or to any other individual. Next, we're going to talk about how to emphasize points. This is important, right? But how do you emphasize points, right? That goes back to value added, and that goes back to what's in it for me. It's also inherently different. So that's why it gets its own brief. How are you going to emphasize certain points to whoever is listening to your brief? This is important. You might want to remember this. If you remember nothing else, remember this. So that's how we're going to go over emphasizing points. Finding that information, right? You got to get it somewhere. Once you find it, then you start the exploitation process, but you got to find it, right? Everyone knows the biggest search engine is Google, right? The Google algorithm will get you what you need, but there are also things like DuckDuckGo that exist and several other smaller search engines that you can use to find products, information. There's even scholarly articles that you can find using these to actually get peer-reviewed articles to use as information so that then you can go and exploit that data. Next is analysis techniques, right? Okay. Not everyone that's watching this is going to be a certified analyst. Not everyone is going to have gone to a course to learn how to use structured analytic techniques. That's okay. You do not need to be an analyst to analyze. It is something that we humans do every day. Microsoft Office is an extremely powerful tool. We've all been familiar with Word. We're all familiar with PowerPoint. We're all familiar with Excel. Those three applications that I just mentioned, if you master those, you will be able to be hired anywhere. Yes, I can write documents using Word. Yes, I can create briefs using PowerPoint. Yes, I can exploit data using Excel. If you can do those three things, and those are probably the three applications that I'm going to cover, although I might cover Azure and some other database applications, they are by no means the norm that people encounter. So I'll try and stick to the ones that people normally encounter, and that's typically Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And finally, other BI tools. So business intelligence tools to make spreadsheets, to make analysis tools, to do all these things. I'm going to cover a topic on some of the top ones that I recommend that are not Microsoft Office, right? I think Microsoft Office stands above the rest in its mass use. So those are the topics that I'm going to be covering in the next couple weeks, couple months. Just depends on when I get time. I'm by no means on a schedule. So Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know what particular things you should want to see or would want to see in upcoming videos. So once I do these 10, then I'll be open for more. So we've made it to the end of my introduction, right? So the conclusion is, this is just the introduction to the future videos, right? This is just what I plan on doing. Some things can change. Some things could stay the same. Comments are welcome, so feel free to hit me up down in the comment section below. I've just started making YouTube videos. This is the very first one, so obviously it's going to be pretty rough. I don't have any fancy tools. I have PowerPoint, I have a microphone, and then I downloaded some audio software that I'm going to use to cut and slice the audio to make it like not so rambly at times. And I plan on making a total of 10 videos after this one. After that, who knows, I might make more. It just depends on how well this is taken. So if you have any questions or concerns or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Have a good day.